Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the United States. Right now, currently it is 9:55 a.m. and on Eastern, and of course it is 6:55 Pacific. Towards today, the Macy's parade will still be going on. For those of you who do not know, there just won't be the big crowds in NYC, but there will be a parade for the Macy's today. As you may know, the Macy's parade has been a big deal in the city of New York for many, many decades, and it would not want to have the Macy's parade around. You'd be surprised. Of course, people would be very disgusted to think that Macy's parade wasn't going on. Also, there's a question about should Grandma attend Thanksgiving this year? Now, first of all, let me just start by saying one thing. I happen to be a person that would love to have had the option of having Thanksgiving with a family, but unfortunately, I don't because my family never got back to me. So there's no Thanksgiving for a family with a family because my family has not even reached out to me whatsoever to have Thanksgiving with them, which frankly I think is kind of sad. But unfortunately, like Multimedia J also pointed out, there'll be 250,000 people not at the table this year. I think he's talking about the fact is that many people will not be celebrating Thanksgiving together because of COVID-19. It seems very likely, given the fact that, well, people are being told by government mandates that you can't celebrate Thanksgiving. And they've even planned to basically, in some states, will be doing impromptu party crashing to make sure that you only have a certain number of people in your home during Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Ultron H. So, I guess the question comes up is, what are we going to do about it? Well, first of all, I found a small-sized turkey. Well, that's good. I'll probably just go pick up some slices of meat at the Cumbies because it's wet, it's soggy, it's rainy, and yeah. I know turkey's the regular thing to go with Thanksgiving, so I have no problem with that. So, I had a dream last night, which wasn't so Thanksgiving worth, but throw it out there anyway. Imagine playing a video game. So once you fail, you die. You can never play the video game again. Oh, theoretically you can, but you're still dead. I actually thought that was pitiful. And I said, I woke up this morning and I said to Lumia, I said, I am not playing that video game anymore. That's boring. No, seriously, I cannot believe I had a dream like that. I was like, but unfortunately, the reality is on Earth, it is pretty much a one-time game. It's not like you can go back and do a redo, which is kind of sad. But even so, let's go Thanksgiving, so let's give some thanks for giving. Okay, the fact is that we do have chances to give thanks and praise to the loved ones and family and stuff like that, which we all know, and friends, if you got friends. I do have some, but they're, I don't know, they're kind of hard to get along with sometimes. Now, I have to admit, I still love my friends a lot. I mean, they're cool people. But, yeah, they're just, They're all busy with their own families, and with all the social distancing going on, they're not really able to interact with me that much. First of all, I don't have danger cooties. I am really danger cooties. Last time I said cooties, it came out like danger cookies. Yeah, please don't eat too many danger cookies. You'll explode. And watch out for the pumpkin dye while you're at it too. So the point is COVID-19 is totally turned 2020 into a fiasco. They say that the standardized testing done for reading comprehension and stuff in the United States will not be occurring until 2022. Here's the good news for the boys and girls out there. Study hard, read hard, and get yourself ready for the big standardized exams, which will be in 2022 for math, reading, and science. Yeah, I know. Schoolwork. Well, thanks for giving me at least another 2 years to do my standardized testing, COVID. Thanks a lot. Of course, I'm sure mothers and fathers all over are probably saying is, hey, COVID-19, take this. I'm tired of you. Yeah, you get it. But either way, so what's today's plans? Well, we're not going to be doing a 7 o'clock show because it makes no sense. A 7 o'clock show would have been fine. But given the fact is that everybody's going to be, those few people that do spend time with the parents and their grandparents on Thanksgiving are probably not going to be focusing on watching a video by a 52-year-old woman sitting at a desk with a hot microphone, drinking a cup of tea, and basically getting, wrapped up in phone calls and drama. And yeah, I don't blame you. Okay. I think that'd be pretty pitiful, considering you probably get your own, gonna have your own little situations in your life, trying to figure out how to serve the family and avoid giving each other the CCP virus. Yes. The virus that nobody likes. The virus nobody wants. Last night I watched a video twice, actually 3 times. And I wanted to bring up the topic to FC that Savannah Swinburner has said, which actually matches pretty well what he has been saying on his own channel. However, of course, he's going to be having Thanksgiving with his family, and I'm sure he's not going to be watching a video from me, at least until Friday. By the way, for those of you who don't know, there will be a special hearing on Friday in Pennsylvania about the recertification vote or certification vote of the presidential election in Pennsylvania. So it's possible, depending on how the judge rules, that the certification may not happen in Pennsylvania, but rather they might actually be doing, possibly a whole redo of special election or whatever, depending on what the judge says. Because right now, what the Democrats are up to is they're going to make you unthankful for giving. That is, they're going to go through and they want to do the Great Reset. What that means in short, simple English is you're not going to like it. And like Savannah Swinburner says, you can either work with us or be forced into it. You don't have a free will. You don't have a choice. It's our way or the highway, buddy. And we know that they're taking advantage of the COVID-19 for their own nefarious ends to specifically discredit and destroy your feelings. To all those who are moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats, I ask you to join the Purple Party. The party that basically is the party of the centrists, the ones that include me, the moderates, the ones that are a large part of the entire situation of America. The non-hardcore left and the non-hardcore right, but rather the ones that look at the situation and tries to find balance. I ask you to join me at fighting the tyranny that is happening on both on the far left and the far right, but to find balance between both sides so that people can have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. After all, if you listen to the far left, they want to basically piss on your turkey and poop in your stuffing, talking about things like viruses and germs and bacteria and pathogens and COVID-19 and lockdowns and telling you how many people you can have and telling you that my old grandma should stay in her rest home and never peek out the door, despite the fact that her next door neighbor in the same rest home may be horking up and coughing up COVID-19 germs everywhere. Not exactly a very nice thought. Or the fact that they'll tell you that you can't have a gasoline guzzling car if that's what you truly want, or that you have no free right to decide what your kid's education is going to be. No. Nope, not going there. And you know what? No matter how you look at it, this country was built upon the men and women who fought against tyrannical baloney. And we should be continue to fight against tyrannical baloney because guess why? If we don't, who will? Yes, homeless Mike sleeping on the couch, by the way, because you want to know where the snoring's from. I don't think the snoring's from my audience. All two of you? Wow. But anyway, so I was given money yesterday to go buy some turkey or chicken meat. I don't have an easy access to the grocery store, so what I'll do is go to Cumberland Farms because they're having free coffees and hot cocos today. Yay! My local Cumberland Farms is from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. So I go there and see if I can find some turkey meat, even if it's cold cuts, or whatever I can find in the refrigerated section. I do know that there was little microwave meals that don't need refrigeration. I think in the food section, I'll see if I can find those. I think they have a turkey or chicken one list. If I can buy 2 of those instant meals, you throw in the microwave, cook the meat slices, and basically make fresh stuffing. And it's already got gravy, so you don't need to make the gravy. Vegetables, because I'm sure homeless Mike is going to want to be having some turkey today too. So it's better than nothing, I suppose. It's assuming they have any in stock. Otherwise, we can make ham, spam, or maybe fresh cold cut ham, whichever the case is, instead. I know most people eat turkey for Thanksgiving, but depending if I can't find any turkey meat, I'll just have to get some ham or spam, one or the other. I don't see too much sliced chicken breast over there at Cumbies, so I'll have to get what I can find. And given the number of people watching the show right now, I guess my observation is right, that tonight's live show would have been a big, giant, colossal waste of time. It's not you guys. Please don't get mad because it's not you. It's the fact that it's the holidays. As I said, you guys are going to be focusing with your family and friends. And yeah, it's just, the way it is. It's pitiful. It's, yeah. So But unfortunately, it's just the way the cards fall. I wish that we could have had a better year. I wish 2020 wasn't such a dumpster fire. I really wish 2020 was a better time. From December 6th, when I fell and broke my kneecap, to the current time, this year has been a giant suck. I mean, it's not even been exciting. I mean, sure, I'm thankful, count my blessings. I didn't break I break worse, or was in chronic pain, which I'm not. But boy, you really think about it. I could have been worse off. I could have broken my back. I could have broken my neck. I could have broken my spine. I could have been crushed by a bus. But for some reason, that's not what happened. So I was lucky there. Like I said a couple days ago, I could have been homeless. I could have been living under a bridge with no money. At least I've got money, and at least I have. I'm still doing YouTube videos. I do admit that I wish that the person that caused so much pain in my life wasn't so guaranteed to cause so much agony. I mean, we could have had something, but her objective in life was completely different than mine. She was looking for a sucker, and she took advantage of me because I was in a bad state at that time. And yeah, but you know what? Just like Gloria Gaynor's, I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I've survived this long. I'm not just going to get up and die. No, I got a life to go. I got a life to live. I got much love to give. I will survive. So that's something to keep in mind during these holidays. Just like I said before, like the song about Delta Dawn. What's that flower you got on? There's a flower of a love that's long gone by. The point of the matter is when you're 52 years old, you look at things a little differently than when you're 22 years old. Go figure that one out. 22 years old, you think you got it good. You just hit legal drinking age in the United States. And you're going out there and you're interacting with people, and you may have been lucky, you're starting a job, and you may have money coming in, only to find yourself looking at the long possible life ahead of you and going, wow, I got time to do everything I wanted. And then you look back when you're 52 years old and you go, whoa, that sure went fast. I can't believe when you think about it. In 1989, my whole world was really different, So be thankful for the good years, the good times you got. Don't get mad if you have setbacks, because it's okay. Everybody does. So maybe the next question is, what are you going to do about your eyeballs? Gonna get some more cancer eye drops. Duh, obviously. But we don't know when that's going to be, because we have to get, the stimulus check together, don't we? Or Senator Wyden's proposal to give everybody on Social Security a $200 a month increase in the benefits for a year. Notice the word, for a year. So the question is, if you get a $200 increase, will you be able to buy eye drops every month? Yes. But still want to get my hair redone too. I want to go back to being a blonde, and that's something else that I have plans to do. Let's be honest, I don't mind having brown hair, but I miss my blonde hair a lot. So for those of you who wanted to know or came in late, is am I going to be celebrating Thanksgiving with anyone? Probably not. Maybe homeless Mike might have some meat with me or turkey with me, but that's about it. Not much else. It's kind of a shame. So, but I still would like everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving no matter where you are. Even if it's not a national holiday in your country, I want you to have a happy Thanksgiving. I want you to keep in mind it's a day of thanks and praise. A day when you give thanks for the things that you have received in this year. Or in your life, whichever one you want. Let's be honest, this year sucked. But I don't know if your life sucked, do I? No. Give thanks and praise for what you've received. Because it could have gotten worse. It could have been a lot worse. So 3 people in here and no one's talking. I think YouTube's up to its normal bullshit. You see, YouTube has been trying to shut me up now for for several years. There are people who think I'm not doing videos, even if they turn the notifications on. YouTube has been notoriously turning them off. Or when they subscribe, YouTube quietly, discreetly unsubscribes them. And so the people do not know when I'm live. Why is YouTube doing that? Because I think YouTube knows I'm talking about something that is very, very uncomfortable for the far left. YouTube, why do you have to be on the far left of everything? You know, you're choosing to try to pigeonhole content creators into a box. Why don't you just let the chips fall where they fall? Why manipulate us? It's sad when you do that to channels like mine. What have my channel done wrong? Nothing. But just talk about things sometimes that just doesn't appeal to the masses. That's absolutely true. When you have an audience of wide-ranging tastes, political affiliations, it's hard sometimes to find a balance. It's not always easy to walk up to somebody and go, hey, I just read an article that said so-and-so did something to somebody else, and I'm not happy about it. Because that so-and-so's action also affects me and you. There are things that are going on in the mainstream media are not even going to cover. Someone has to. I've always found it important to try to balance everything when I can. That's why I'm creating the concept of the Purple Party. So basically, anybody can join. You just got to be willing to be a moderate. Republican or Democrat, whichever party you want to be. To stand up for what is truly the constitutional right that this country was built upon. You don't have to register. You can be even an illegal immigrant. It doesn't matter. Come stand with us against the tyrannical left and the tyrannical far right. Let's bring this country together. It's not that hard to do. If you think about it, if we don't do something soon, there won't be a country anymore. The far left is tearing it to shreds, and the far right is trying to strongly polarize. They both are trying to polarize the country between two sides. Civil War 2.0 is just around the corner. We need to nip that bad boy in the bud. We need to shut it down before it becomes that bad. Example, what I call getting things together. We should dialogue this. We should talk about this. Don't be afraid to speak with boldness. If you don't, then you're basically just going to be washed out with the rest of the muddy water out of the streets. That's all. Yeah, time to take a stand. Time to stand up for what's right in this country. Time to tell the tyrannical far left and the tyrannical far right that you don't believe in being those extremes, but rather somewhere in the middle where American people work together to solve the problems. They're not trying to pit one against the other. Now, let's remember one thing before we forget, since everybody mentions about, or Pop in particular brings up the Native Americans. When the Pilgrims first came to Plymouth Rock, they had absolutely no knowledge of the weather in Plymouth Rock, Massachusetts at all. They had no clue what they were getting into. They came in to a whole new territory. They had no idea what was going on. They had no idea what the weather was like. The first winter in Plymouth Rock, the Pilgrims were freezing, dying from hunger and starvation and illnesses. The local Native American tribes offered to help them to learn how to grow food and crops. And they, for the help of the Indians, Miles Standish, which I believe at the time was the governor of Plymouth, well, let's just call him a leader. I don't know if it really was the governor, but all right, the leader. He wanted to give the Native Americans a thank you. So they decided to throw together. It wasn't in the wintertime. It was probably more earlier than now, but we just celebrate November because, well, like many holidays, we just pick an arbitrary date. And that first Thanksgiving, they didn't have turkey or cranberry sauce. That came later, but it was still a time for the Native Americans and the Americans to come together and give thanks and praise for the help that each has given them. Because you're right, Indians got something out of it too. It wasn't just us. Unfortunately, the colonial approaches, colonialism, the United States did all kinds of nasty stuff to the Indians and drove them into a situation where the Indians were losing their native lands and are getting the shaft. All right, and that's no joke. That's true. It happened. It's a shame because the Indians did come and did help those pilgrims, settlers, in their first year of being here at a time. I think it was 1611 on Plymouth Rock, and they were very monumental of saving the colony from a major disaster and another cold hard winter. So I say to all the Native Americans out there too, I want you guys to know that we still thank you, even if the people in the 19th century basically screwed you over. I want you to know that I am truly sorry for what has happened to you because of a government that has basically had forgotten the sacrifices that you did to make us have a chance to survive in Plymouth, Massachusetts. For those of us who know our history, acknowledge your assistance. Now, as we get into this, I mean, we're going to have a cold, dark winter this year, too. So, we're talking about the weather here. Not talking about so much about the COVID-19 dark winter, which is still a bit of a problem, but the temperatures in the East Coast. I don't know where the people would be willing to take the time out to go over to the local Indian reservations and shake your hands and say, hey guys, look, we owe you a thank you. And we can't do reparations, but we can at least give you a thank you and help support you somehow. Maybe go to your casinos. Mohegan Sun, Massateca Pequots, Turning Stone, whichever the case may be. Unfortunately, because COVID-19 is going to put a boot into the machine there and sabotage even those plans. All I can do is just tell you that we thank you for your assistance you have given us, despite what the others have done. I myself don't see you as bad people. I have friends that are Indian. I have friends that have, Native Americans that have helped out me in the past too. I'm talking on a mixer microphone setup that was actually purchased by Native American, believe it or not. Yep, still got it, still use it. And it has been a very solid performer for a long time. I think I got it in 2016. Yeah, sooner or later it's going to need a recap, I'm sure. But it's working good now, so I'll take it with a grain of salt right now. So, everybody, it looks like no one's really here. It's okay. Tonight there will not be a live show at 7, so just want you to know that have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. And remember that There are many people who will not be with each other for family for this year because of COVID-19. You may have lost loved ones. You may have lost, or maybe you just can't get there. But I'll always keep you in my head, in my heart, and keep them. I will be with you guys, in my dreams and in my future. It's going to be a long, lonely holiday season this year for many people. That's one of the reasons why last night my character went to Jovia and give her a hug. Because, let's be honest, the Jovia innkeeper doesn't have anyone either. The NPC stares at her bookshelf. She hardly ever sees anyone in that inn. Michele gets it. I get it. People wonder why I see things in World of Warcraft that I can see in the real world. Well, the first reason is because the people who are writing the game are on this planet. A lot of the stories are not just coming out of thin air. They do have a basis. And after all, I'm sure there are many, many players of World of Warcraft for reasons that are of no fault of their own. See a lot of Jovia in each other. They want to be with other people, but are isolated. Maybe a shut-in that is in a nursing home, or a homebody in their own home, but depends on the help of visiting nurses and doctors to people that just all the family have passed on. They're the real Jovias in the world. Go up to them and give them a hug. It's not their fault. What my character also said is this is true. I hope one day, with modern technology and gaming, maybe Jovia could be more lively and dynamic. Instead of just staring at her bookshelves, at least walk around the inn, maybe do some light interaction with the players. I mean, that's what I want to think about. I mean, do good times lie ahead? Possibly. Is 2021 going to be a better year? I hope so. Well, anyway, guys, take it as you will. Just want you to have a happy, safe Thanksgiving, and do me a favor and do keep it in mind close to your heart. Because when I talk to you, I'm not talking to you from a script or pre-thought lines here. I'm talking to you from my feelings are true and genuine. And if you know the real world version of Jovia is out there, give them a hug, okay? There's a lot more of them than you think. I mean, I know, she's a character in the game. That doesn't mean much to some people. But you probably know the real ones. They they don't have family, they don't have loved ones. They just stand there staring at the bookshelves. Basically, almost bored. And that's something to think about. Right now, given COVID-19, there's a lot of them out there. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you tomorrow on Friday night at 7 o'clock, Friday morning at 10 a.m. And we will find out more than likely tomorrow what's going to happen in Philadelphia and Georgia, possibly even Las Vegas, Nevada, about what's going on in the election. Even though Nevada did certify for Joe Biden, given what's going on, you never know. Trump may still win. I mean, if he doesn't win, join the Purple Party and let's keep these far left and far right nut jobs from screwing up this country. Let's work together to bring some balance back into America. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe. Bye-bye.